Hey, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is about a guy called Hawkeye, a man who's pulled off the most insane investment in CSGO history. How's he done it? Well, basically, he's done it by doing absolutely everything wrong every single step of the way, and the result has been pure insanity. So we're gonna have a look at the mad genius, or lack thereof, behind this guy's amazing achievement, because it really highlights why so many people mess their investments up. Now, this video is sponsored by Skinport, the easy to use skins marketplace where you can sell your skins for real cash. Skinport has a huge range of skins that you can buy at massive discounts compared to the Steam market, all pretty much at the click of a button. There is no need to deposit first or anything like that, just pick the skin you want and straight up buy. You can also check it out in 4K using the site's inspect feature for good measure, so you know exactly what you're getting before you buy it. Great site, recommend checking it out, link is in the description. So, what was Hawkeye's amazing move? Well, it was pretty straightforward. Basically, back in 2014, he bought one of every Heyzeus 2014 Holo Team sticker for $137, and then he kept them. Here they are back in 2014, and here they are today. Except, they're not worth $137 anymore, they're worth $270,000 instead. That's a 197,000% return on investment in just 7 years. So, what was the key to Hawkeye's success? Well, to explain it best, I'm gonna need to bring in another character. So let me introduce Kooky05. Kooky05 is the star of a video I made about 3 years ago now. One of the videos that initially made my channel take off. So it is a real joy to bring him back up and relive the pain of his immense tragedy all over again. So what did Kooky do? Well, back in 2014, he bought 28 Cato 2014 sticker capsules for $7 during that tournament sticker sale. Today, those capsules are worth about $320,000. Unfortunately for Kooky though, he sold his for $14 a week after he bought them. And the poor guy, he was already upset when they got to 80 cents. Mate, I got bad news for you. Anyway, two men buy some stickers for chump change back in 2014. Those stickers are now worth enough to buy a house. But only one of them actually held on to them. The other made a measly $7 profit. So what sets them apart? Well, it's because of what I said at the start of the video. Hawkeye was doing everything wrong, and that's what ended up making him so amazingly successful. You see, Hawkeye is not an investor. He's explained his story in detail on Reddit, and he was never, ever in this for the money. He's just a collector. He bought these stickers because he wanted to own them. And not only did he want to own them, he was stubborn about it too. I mean, just pretend we don't have the benefit of hindsight for a moment. Yes, obviously buying these things looks smart now that this thing turned out to be worth $50,000, but back in 2014, we didn't know that, and honestly, spending $137 on a collection of digital items at the time looked pretty dumb. I mean, Kooky only put in $7 because he had no idea how it was going to pan out, and even Hawkeye himself thought the prices were a bit ridiculous. Most people didn't think these stickers had good long-term prospects back in 2014. I mean, why would they? They're f***ing stickers in a video game. It's not like some Chinese guy's gonna come along and pay 50 grand for one of them, no way. So, most people didn't do it. In the mind of the average punter at the time, it was the wrong thing to do. But of course, Hawkeye didn't care about that. It didn't need to be a smart investment to him because he was just a collector. And that's what ended up setting him apart from most other people at the time. Having said that though, buying at the right time is only half the story, because Hawkeye didn't just buy at the right time, he also held these things for roughly 7 years. Now, obviously with the benefit of hindsight, you're going to wait 7 years, you're an idiot not to, but again, no one had the benefit of hindsight at the time. And just think for a moment about what Hawkeye's really done. Let's say you spent $137 in 2014 on some random collectible you didn't think had any real prospects for the future, and 2 years later, in 2016, you realize you can sell it for $10,000. Do you sell? And even if you don't, what do you think the average person is going to do? Now, fast forward a few years to 2019 and your collection is now worth $80,000. Again, do you sell? And even if you don't, what do you think the average person is going to do? And of course, That brings us to today, where we're looking at $270,000. Again, do you sell? And even if you don't, what do you think the average person is doing? Well, in every one of these examples, Hawkeye chose to hold it, and while it makes him look like a genius today, the reality is almost no one in his situation would do the same thing. In fact, most people would consider him insane for doing that, and don't take that from me, take that from Hawkeye, because that's exactly what his friends were telling him every single year. So what was it that made this madman refuse to do something that 99.9% of people would? Well, I don't know, and I don't know if he fully knows either, but ultimately it does kind of come back to the fact that he just wasn't in it for the money. And just compare that to poor old Kooky. He sold out the moment he doubled his money and missed out on $319,993 of profit in the process. But of course, money was kind of his problem here, because he was looking for it, and as soon as he saw a little bit, he snapped it up rather than waiting for a bigger return. And this isn't just some weird video game thing either, it's actually a very well-known problem with investing. A lot of people cash out winners too early rather than waiting longer and getting an even bigger profit, just because they want the glory of being able to say they made money from their investment, when the smart thing to do is actually to hold it for even longer. And this tells us a lot about why the Katowice stickers ended up being such an insane investment, because when they were first released, almost all the people who bought them looking to make a profit, people like Kooky, cashed out when the prices were only a fraction of what they are now. They pounced on that money the moment they saw it. And with so many stickers wiped out at such an early stage, it pretty much guaranteed they were just going to keep on getting more and more expensive. Only a handful of people who either weren't paying attention or weren't in it for the money, actually held onto their stickers. The thing that made it such an amazing investment was the fact that almost everyone got it wrong, and it was only a handful of guys like Hawkeye, the people who looked like they were doing the wrong thing at the time, who ended up getting it right. So, where does Hawkeye go from here? He still doesn't seem set on cashing out the stickers, not yet at least, and based on what he said to me in the DMs, he's a bit ambivalent about whether he will or not in the future. Funnily enough though, he's still got his own horror story when it comes to selling too early. He actually had a second Iberpower Holo back in the day, which he ended up selling for just $75. A bit unfortunate given it's worth $45,000 today or something along those lines. That said though, one thing that is certain is that CSGO will eventually die someday, and when it does, these stickers will be worth nothing. So if he doesn't sell at some point, he's never going to see a return on this investment. Now, I don't think even he knows for sure if he's eventually going to cash out or not, but if he does decide to keep the stickers and ultimately goes down with the ship, he's still got my respect. If you've got the stones to hold onto these stickers for 7 years, as far as I'm concerned, you've more than earned the right to piss it all away. And of course, maybe by waiting even longer, he'll make even more money. Time will tell. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.